Eagle to get anything but first place in this tournament. But among the people who could knock him out, John is one of them. There are only like maybe 4 people in the tournament who has like a shot at beating Eagle, and I would say John is one of them. So it could be an upset. We'll have to see. Regardless, the race is off, and we're getting a good start after the morph ball. No silly mistakes right off the bat. Good. Prince Star is generally considered a really tough area for any category, really, because it generally looks the same in any category. But to start off, we're just gonna go get missiles and then bombs. This is mostly the same in regard, like no matter what you're doing. If you've played this game casually, you might remember grabbing the long beam early on, but we're gonna skip that for now. It's grabbed really late. It's not a very useful item, and it takes a long time to grab. So John with a slight lead right early on. Looks promising. Oh, both of them took damage. So we have some really tough ammo management right at the start after this upcoming boss. And you want to have full health coming into the shaft for better. Yeah, we can see John really want that health drop. Let's see if... I don't think Eagle got the double, no. Oh, he did, it just... Oh, the color shading was weird. So you can hit that boss with 2 missiles on the same frame, causing them both to hit. He usually takes 3 hits, but if you hit 2 at the same time, you can get them... They both count, so... and you want to be optimally at 4 or more missiles coming into high room. John kind of went back a bit and trying to kill a Zoomer for an extra missile drop. I don't know if that's advisable. 3 is plenty for this room. So we want 3 missiles. Use 3 missiles per hive, and there are 3 hives in the room. And there's a missile pack containing 5 missiles at the edge, which gives us 9 missiles total. Coming in with 4. Oh, I got the double in the second shot. Yeah, that makes sense. This is still pretty close. This is like a pretty solid start for both players. Okay, John. At least he didn't fall down. That was scary. So getting the double and getting like 3 is fine, and Eagle getting 4 missiles for high. That's a very solid start. Now I don't know which routes these guys are using. I suspect John does late Prince Star, and Eagle might be doing early. I'm not sure. So there's a. I'm sorry for like if I cough a lot. I'm still a bit sick, but I should be fine. I had a cold like a few days ago. But there's a serious route position coming up here. It's really close, and it's mostly up to preference to what you're trying to do. I think Eagle's going for early, so you can go up here using some pretty tight bomb jumping to grab a few items early, an entry tank and I think 2 missile tanks. Or you can do what John does and just ignore it and come back and grab those right before turn. Of all the routing choices, like this category has a lot of routing choices, and this one is the most. Like a lot of the other choices have like a standard, quote-unquote, best route, but for this one it's really tricky. Doing it like John is doing is technically faster in a lot of cases, it really does. It makes like it's you have to rely on like drop RNG though, because you don't really have enough ammo to fight acid worm and create properly. So you need a couple of drops to make that happen. And we see Eagle missing the bomb jumps, which is the problem with early in that it's really hard to do. There's a lot of bomb jumps and missing them is like really bad. So assuming you get good RNG, late Brinstar tends to be faster. But there's also the issue of refilling health in Norfair. Like all the way to Norfair, you need to if you do late Brinstar, you definitely need to refill your health. And if you do early, you might not have to, which is a couple of seconds save on not having to pick the refill. I don't know if skipping refill in Norfair is really safe though, so I don't think Eagle's gonna do that with her anyway. Let's see. We also see Eagle not picking up Various Suit, even though it's right there. It's right up to the left, but we never pick up Various Suit in any category for this game. Well, I guess low percent sometimes, but we get Various Suit given to us when we activate Gravity, so we don't actually have to pick the item up. So we just skip it. We grab the energy tank right next to it, but that's about it. So John is getting closer to Acid Worm. I don't really run late Brinstar that much, so I don't know what kind of missile totals you should be looking at, but you need 30 missiles to fight Acid Worm itself. So I think John is gonna have to do some farming. And if you have to do like any farming at all, this route loses time. This is like with Wipe, this is a big RNG thing. John getting the tricky bomb wall jump to get through that door without using the ball cannon. Yeah, he's gonna need to farm here a couple of times. If he's cheeky, he can go in 30, but he should probably pick up a bit more. 34 is fine, yeah. So those few seconds he spent farming there is enough to make late Brinstar slower. But sometimes you don't have to farm there if you're really lucky. You don't have to farm there, then it's faster-ish. It's complicated. For practical reasons, the two routes are the same speed, pretty much. It's up to preference on what you think is important. John seems to be good on missiles, I think. We also need 20 missiles at the end of Crade, or at the far west of Crade, to kill 2 big sidehoppers. And he'll be picking up that missile pack and another missile pack on that way, so he should have 20, assuming he doesn't use any missiles anyway. So we're gonna see these racers be pretty far apart for like half an hour or something. Then they're gonna converge, and I think it's like a 2-minute difference. So that you lose 2 minutes early on during your Brinstar, and then you gain them back right before turn. I think it's 2 minutes. So it's gonna be really hard to tell who's actually in the lead until we get to turn. I would suspect Eagle to be in the lead because John had to farm, but Eagle also screwed up a bomb jump once. And I think Eagle has just slightly better movement in general. It's hard to tell. John is doing really well though, so it's not... I think this is really close though. John's stuck at the perfect 20 missiles for these hoppers. Ooh, that's the tricky JBJ. That JBJ is really tight, to be fair. You have to place that bomb really high to get up there. JBJ being a jump the bomb jump, where you jump, morph mid-air, plant the bomb, land, jump it again, and morph mid-air again, you get boosted by the bomb. It's a lot of inputs and really tricky to get a slight height bonus. It's useful in a couple of spots, but I think everywhere it's useful, you could just do a normal double bomb jump. It's never like required for any trick, except for one that no one actually does because it's stupid. Ooh, John getting fancy strats. We affectionately call this room the most boring room in the game, but I found this strat to make it slightly more interesting, and it saves like half a second. But it makes the room way more fun. Ooh, that was a nice way to kill the bugs. I should steal that. I haven't seen bugs being killed like that before. No, Scotty, no. There's no one that does that trick. I mean, I've done other runs. I think Scotty and me are the only ones who've actually done it in a run. I think. I've done it like twice though. Scotty's probably way more consistent than I am. John coming up to the Kraid fight. Kraid is, if not the hardest boss, then among the hardest boss fights in 100% for sure. You need to hit him with 15 missiles, but you need to jump to shoot because you need to hit him in the mouth, and it's a bit off the ground. Oh, John having it slightly worrisome. It's a 3-round still. Optimally, you want it to be a 2-round. But it's a bit tricky, and it's way harder if Kraid does the swipe, which just blocks shots. That was still pretty solid. Eagle doing most boring room in the game. See if he does the fancy strat. I don't know. Doing fancy strat is kind of risky because when you're doing the JBJ up to he's taking these. When you're doing the JBJ up to the zipline, you might grab it before you morph, and that's terrible because the zipline moves away and you need to get back over it. I'm using a lot of them. Wow, okay, that was really fast killing the bugs on John's side. I usually space that out a bit more. Like, you're not doing anything else there, you can take it cool and take it easy. John trying to get the sub-pixel perfect shot. You can hit the switch on the way running to the right, but it's like, it's so tight. It's like not even funny. It's frame perfect, and it only works from certain sub-pixels in the previous. Like, you have to start running from certain sub-pixels in the previous room, and even then, it's still like a 50-50 chance, depending on like how the door decides to open, on if it's possible or not. It's so inconsistent, but it takes like a second, I guess. Eagle doing Kraid fight. Eagle has been notoriously bad at Kraid for a while. Yeah. He's still okay. I remember when I haven't kept track of the newer runners that much, but I remember like years ago, Eagle was notoriously bad at Kraid fight, even when he was holding the world record. So he gets like a 4-round, I think that was. John getting bomb jump up to the E-tank with no problems. So whenever you run through a door, there's like a 2-frame rule. So like sometimes when you run through a door, it's gonna take 1 frame longer before the room actually transitions into the next room. So it's like you can only enter a door every other frame, pretty much. And depending on which of those frames you hit, you need to stand at different positions to get the stupid sub-frame switch. I'm curious to see if anyone like would realistically skip heals in the Norfair. But if you do, you kind of need, like where John is now, you kind of need to actually conserve missiles. Because if you don't take any refills, you actually run out of missiles in Ridley. Almost. Like, it's pretty tight. I really doubt John is gonna do it though. Eagle might if he has like really good health coming into screw attack. We'll see. Eagle also getting the bomb jump fine. John picking up the first unknown item. Or I guess, I mean that's technically the unknown item number 1, but it's the second one we pick up in this route. So. And John is now going to grab our first super missile through some transporting. This is one of very few super tanks that you can get without using supers. There are only like 3 in the game, I think. 4 Chisodia. This is like one of the big reasons we do crate first in 100%. The other big one being that we need speed booster in Ridley to pick up a couple of items, and going back into Ridley during cleanup would be disastrous for time. We also need to pick up power grip. It's a bit weird. Like it's 100%, so we need to pick up power grip anyway, but even in 90% we need to go up here to get power grip. Not because we need to use power grip anywhere, but because there's a vine at the far right side of Norfair that's just there and blocking the way and indestructible until we pick up power grip. I think that's a really like inelegant way to solve the problem of power grip being skippable. Just like put an unknown item block there, like whatever. And if people want to go get unknown item and then not get power grip, then the more power to them, you know. John doesn't seem to be caring about missile drops at all, so I don't think he's going to skip any refill. Oh, Eagle missing the JBJ. That's like the easiest JBJ in the speedrun. Like if you're gonna do any JBJ, you should do it that one. If you're like trying to learn to use the JBJs in places, that should be the first one you start learning. Yes, power grip is a required item in low percent. As is various suit because the game just gives it to you for no reason. Huh? I make callouts when people do mistakes. It's really still really hard to tell who's in the lead, which I think is like more a testament to how well John is doing as opposed to Eagle doing poorly. He's missed like a couple of bomb jumps. Eagle is still like a very solid run so far. There have been no major mistakes for either runner in the first 20 minutes, which is good because start of this run is, in my opinion, more difficult than like the middle part. Though Ridley has a couple of tricky rooms. It's very like it's not that Ridley is hard per se, but it's very error prone. Like it's very easy to make mistakes in Ridley. And we still don't know how Like the routes are gonna converge right before Turian, so we'll know by then who's in the lead. Really hard to tell. John is just using way too many. Oh no, no, John, why? So John tried to. You want to break the speed blocks, but if you store a shine spark right on the. Oh, he got it after to show off how it works. So if you store a shine spark right on the block, you can get the shine spark and still break it, and use that shine spark to go through the room before high jump. It saves like a minuscule amount of time. I don't like to risk the reward on that trick, but hey, it is faster if you get it first try. John decides to not refill at high jump. That's a bit brave, I think. No, he should be fine as long as he gets this bomb jump. Oh. Yeah, he's still fine. That's not a problem. He might need to take it a bit slow at the Rippers before screw attack, but he's gonna refill that screw attack. No, there's no way he's not going to. So the routes these two players are. Oh, that was a weird ass. Okay, so John got the refill glitch where if you start refilling while you're picking up an item, which is like it's pretty hard to do, and it's like we have a couple of setups. You can have them both happening at the same time, saving some time because you don't have to wait for the item acquisition before you start refilling. So the two routes the players are using are late or early Brennstar, which is the main difference between players. Like it's very reasonable to use either of these routes. It's like there's no clear-cut best out of these routes. John is using late Brennstar, which means he skipped a couple of items early on, and is going to be grabbing those later, right before Turian, while Eagle grabbed them early. This gives Eagle a bit more ammo and health going through this section, which is potentially really useful, but it's mostly useful in Crate to have the additional missiles in Crate. But these routes are like within. Oh, Eagle failed. Oh. So even assuming perfect RNG and everything, these routes are like within 2 seconds of each other. It's usually the difference of what you feel comfortable. If you feel more comfortable handling drop RNG or more comfortable handling difficult bomb jumps at the start of the game. You guys are being really mean. I'm being positive towards John because I want to see John win. Because I like upsets. Eagle is heavily favored in this match. And seeing John win would be a very nice surprise. I still don't know who's ahead though. Like this is still really close. Oh, Eagle getting money spark. That's a really hard shine spark to keep all the way down through that shaft. There are multiple enemies you have to screw attack, and in some positions, the way he did it, there are some enemy positions where it's just impossible to do, and so you have to get good luck on the enemy spawns. And then it's still really tight, and it takes like a second. I've actually named Money Spark because Kirby Master once said he will donate like $100 if either me or Mobius got it in a ESA race, which neither of us did because the spark is like ridiculously hard. There's usually not like you might as well go for it. It's like missing the spark doesn't really do much unless you miss it really spectacularly. So there's not much incentive to not try. If you can do it like somewhat consistently, you can get it like a third of the time and it'll still be worth it to go try for it. So John coming up on the Imago fight. We go down the elevator in order to. We need to go down the elevator to activate this fight in the first place. This is sort of tight. You need to. You want to get a one round here, and he gets it. Yeah. So if you like screw that up and miss a couple missiles and time your running after it wrong, like you're gonna end up with having 3 more rounds. No. Oh, I get the super though. Yeah. You want to break the block and then use a Shine Spark going down, and use a Shine Spark in this room that John's in right now. But now he has to take this Morph Ball path instead. It's not that much lower, but it's still sad to miss that. Oh, he almost fell down. Oh, goodness. John also coming up to the ice clip. So he needs to kill this red enemy, pick up its drop. And then we want to... Like this, the reason why this works is pretty complicated, but it's thankfully really easy to do. You want to get on top of 2 frozen enemies and then place a bomb, and that happens. So the short version of why that works is that if you're on top of 2 frozen enemies at the same time and kill both of them on the same frame, which is what we do with a bomb, the game tries, like when the first enemy dies, the game tries to place you on top of the second enemy to make sure that you don't like fall through it or anything. But since the second enemy has also already died and has had its position reset to its spawn point, the game sets your position, like it tries to put you on top of the enemy, but the enemy is now at its spawn point, so it puts you at where its spawn point is, which is below the floor, so we clip through the ledge. Something like that. Like we have to kill the red guy, and why we have to kill the red guy is something it's really complicated, and I'd rather not go into. Eagle also fucks up the Magus part a bit in mine. Oh, John goes for diagonal spark. That saves like half a second because you don't have to run back to get the speed boost. You can spark straight to the door, and then you have to run back a bit to get the next speed boost. But if you screw up that diagonal spark, like if you miss that, it's pretty tight, honestly. And if you screw it up, you have to run all the way back to the previous room to get a new speed boost to get through. We can see Eagle doing Ice Clip again for instant replay. Yeah. There are plenty of places where you can do Ice Clip on any place where you have a respawnable enemy. Yeah, technically on any respawnable enemy. It's way harder to do if you don't have the pipe bugs that just happen to be on the exact same position because of how they approach you. Yeah, we found Ice Clip first in Turian by using 2 Rinkas and being warped into the ceiling, and we were really confused as to what was happening and why. But we eventually engineered a single situation where it's useful, and we haven't found any. We have technically CX found a pseudo useful way to like incorporate into a puzzle in top of Italy as well. John is doing late bin star, Eagle's doing early bin star, so I have no idea who's ahead right now. I think they're really close. John might even be ahead. I'm not sure. I can tell you later why killing the red enemy is important, Scotty, but it's too complicated to do for this race commentary. But it's to rearrange the enemy indexes, I guess you could say. I was like too busy talking about ice scripts. I wasn't even paying attention to to the runners anymore. I think both of them got speed jump first try. Which is a trick on the right of Ridley. We have to jump through a couple of speed blocks, and it's pretty tough with no real backup way to do it, and that's the intended way. And it's just like a 3 sometimes 2 frame window to do that jump. John, after having killed Ridley, only has 1 item left to pick up in this area. 2 items left in this area, and then he'll be going up and pick up. He's being really cautious about his super missiles. Going back through that corridor and grabbing supers is something you do when you're really low on supers. But he had 4. I don't think that was necessary. Get like 3 owls on the way. Each owl has like a 75% chance to drop a super. I'm doing a weird variation of jumpy jumpy. So jumpy jumpy is where you want to jump in a certain way to get the bug that John throws into the correct position to jump up to the missile tank. And like it worked. He just didn't do it the way I was expecting him to do it. Meanwhile, Eagle fighting Ridley, if you can call this thing of a fight. Ridley is like pathetically easy on 100% the amount of supers you have. Ooh, Eagle getting no super drops from Ridley. That's a bit annoying. He might be justified in going back through the corridor and grabbing supers. Yeah, oh, only 2 supers. Wow, I'm feeling sorry for Eagle. And John is gonna pick up the super tank Imprint Star and then go back up, pick up the items Eagle picked up earlier. And we'll finally be able to tell who's in the lead shortly. I think John might be in the lead. Eagle getting like ridiculously bad luck. What is this? He picked up pretty much every super drop he could in Ridley and he's still not full. That's crazy. So John going through this area has a couple of upgrades which makes this faster. Doing it now. Route-wise, it's pretty bad. You have to run a lot farther, go through more doors. But because you can do these rooms so much quicker without having to do bomb jumps, it ends up being like the same speed-ish. I'm getting really bad luck on these bugs. Eagle catching up? Eagle might be catching up. It's hard to tell. Is Eagle ahead now? It might be. Probably is, actually. Oh yeah, John has to pick up this missile thing too. Yeah, Eagle definitely ahead by now. Eagle going to pick up long beam finally. You're not wrong. These runs, 100% run is usually around an hour and 15 minutes. I'm assuming these guys are going to be around somewhere an hour 13 actually. Eagle always gets 110. So in Turian, we just really want a lot of super drops from the Metroids. John seems to be like half a minute behind Eagle, I think. That seems correct. This is not, like, the super drops in Turian aren't nearly as important as they are in 90%. We still have enough normal missiles to just go through the area, like, regardless of what happens. But using supers is obviously faster because shooting a single super is faster than shooting 5 normal missiles. So we still want as many drops, as many super drops as possible. Eagle's getting pretty bad luck. He got a double super drop early on before he could actually use that double drop. Like it put him over the edge of his maximum super capacity, so it didn't. Oh, there we go. John getting a much better timing for his double drop. I don't remember the drop percentage of supers from Metroids. We have that somewhere, but I forgot it. It's like 10%? 20%? I think it's 10%. But like twice, because there are 2 drops. We want 4 supers left, at least, at the end of Turian. Eagle is fine on 4. I see some people opt for 6, which is like reasonable. You can use those extra supers to kill the tank around Mother Brain faster. Doing that is sort of awkward with normal missiles because the Rinkas start spawning again. Oh no, John getting grabbed. You get out pretty quickly though, it's fine. You can sit right next to Mother Brain's eye like Eagle's doing right now. He's firing missiles so quickly, holy crap. So yeah, that's a safe spot. If you morph there, Mother Brain's beam won't hit you, so you can just shoot 4 missiles and a super, and then morph and be safe. As soon as Mother Brain takes 5 missiles worth of damage, she'll close her eye. So we do 4 missiles and then end with a super to do the max amount of damage per round, leaving it at 4 rounds. It is possible through trickery to have less rounds, but it's hard and requires you to have like a bunch of supers by the end. See, the thing is, you can't just mash missiles or beams in this game though. Like, you have a cooldown period on the beam, you can't just shoot as fast as possible. You have a 6-frame cooldown for normal beam and then 8-frame cooldown for missiles, so it's more about having a good rhythm than being able to mash fast. I think it's just a video creating the illusion of him firing way faster than he actually is. Coming up to Suitless, this is the same regardless of category. The only difference that's even applicable is that you have more health in 100%. And I guess these guys are going to refill. I think John lost some more time. John is like 40 seconds behind now. Anyway, I expect both of these players are going to take this health refill. It's not necessary. We don't need to take damage. It's not even faster. It's I guess it's sort of faster to take damage in extra places, but taking the refill is not worth it for time. But if you take damage anyway, like pirates do 100 damage to you, so if you screw up at all, you end up dead, which is not something you want to do in a race. John might realize he's behind and not take the refill as a risk to try catching up, but it's really risky. In an optimal run, you wouldn't refill, but races are a different story. Yeah, they're both taking the refills. You can technically go through all of Suitless without getting caught a single time. But specifically, the first pirate is really hard to not get seen by. It's possible, but it's really hard. And a couple of rooms later on in the ruins, it's just really, really slow to not get caught. Both players getting the tripwire skip, where you do a wall jump to avoid tripwire getting caught. Eagle coming up to border patrol, where you can do a fast way of running underneath this top searchlight. And he screws it up. Nah, it sucks. And he does bad backup. Wow. Eagle, please. Anyway, so if you can crouch at the top of those platforms, and then you have to like time your run somewhat. It's tricky. It's not that tight, but it's tricky because it's hard to get a good visual cue for it. So you just kind of have to wing it. But you can run beneath the top searchlight, saving a couple of seconds. Getting caught is pretty terrible though. John does it nice. That should let him catch up by like I think 8-ish seconds. The trick itself saves like 2 seconds, but failing it costs like 6 or something. So I think failing it versus getting it is like an 8-second difference. Eaglesid has a pretty sizable lead though, so it's gonna be hard for John to catch up still. But there are plenty of failable tricks in cleanup, so this is far from over. John not even shooting Roger. Wow, what kind of zero mission runner are you? Eagle doing Samstrat, where if you go through this room in a very specific way, the alarm hopefully shuts off at the end. Yeah, good job. This saves us a entering a save room later on, where we would have to go into a save room to shut off the alarm. So since we already did that, we don't have to. It saves like half a second or something, but mostly it saves a couple of door transitions. See if John can get Samstrat. It's not that hard, Samstrat. It's tricky. It's hard to learn, but it's not that hard to perform once you know how it works. These are really clean Suitless runs from both runners. The only thing that really went wrong was Eagle missing border patrol. I shouldn't. They're not done yet, so I shouldn't be jinxing people. I think we're pretty fine. So for Eagle, we're gonna come up on Charlie, or Choso Ghost, or Trial Choso, whatever. It has a lot of names. We usually call him Charlie. And at Charlie, since they took the health refill, they can do a bit of damage boosting on this boss. It'll show a glyph that you have to shoot at occasionally. And every time you shoot the glyph, you get a random timer to when the glyph will show the next time. But if you shoot yourself, like if you shoot yourself as soon as you can after hitting the glyph, you get a shorter timer, or like a shorter base time on that timer. So it's usually saves time. Sometimes you get like a really lucky timer on the first shot, and then you just speed it up by getting an average after shooting yourself. But it's mostly better to just do it. It's like very noticeable if you fight this boss a lot and try to do it without damage boosting and with damage boosting. It's very noticeable. Eagle's still getting a pretty bad Charlie, even with damage boost. That felt pretty bad. Eagle not even trying for Charlie glitch. I think we can DQ this guy, right? That's okay. I want to DQ Eagle. So when you get into that cutscene, if you turn around on, I think it's like a 2 frame. I don't remember. It's like it's pretty small. And if you turn around during that timing, you can still move and like do stuff and shoot beams and whatever during this entire cutscene. John is trying. Like you just stand there and mash left, right, and hope. And John gets it. Yeah, good job. This is really important part of the mission. People jokingly say that anyone that doesn't get the glitch is like invalid. But Eagle didn't even try, which makes me really disappointed. You can see some garbled up plasma sprites at the end. Eagle trying to do this Shine Spark in one go. He should be fine. He's done this 100 times. Yeah. There's just gonna be a pretty long stretch of just running to get power bombs now, so we can use power bombs to break the glass tube and get back into actual cleanup. We'll pick up a couple of items with Sodia, but it's not gonna be a lot. Both players getting the E-Tank Shine Spark with no problem, as expected. These guys are top quality runners, both of them. The Eagle's gonna run through glass tube. We'll get back here later on and use power bombs to blow it up. As which is what you do in Metroid games. I think every Metroid game since power bombs were introduced, we've blown up some kind of glass tube somewhere. Don't remember if it was done in. Yeah, there wasn't in Prime 3. So I think every game with the power bombs, we blow up some kind of glass tube. Around this time, we'll see Eagle switch to supers instead of missiles, somewhere around here. it doesn't really matter what kind of ammo you do here. We need to take there's a force refill we need to take later on to refill power bombs anyway. So switching to 2 supers, like there's a single place where you could use 2 missiles instead of 1 super, but using 1 super saves time on the refill later on. So we might as well just have supers equipped for the rest until we get the refill right now. Fusion definitely has a glass tube, but down in lower sector 4. I mean, we don't technically blow up the tube itself, but like there are power bomb blocks inside a glass tube. Oh, Eagle missing his base jumps a bit. That room is like really laggy if you do it a bit wrong. So during lag frames, the game like eats your inputs. So if you do that room like slightly wrong, you might just start falling down weirdly. Eagle picking up power bombs, and it's gonna go right and immediately pick up another power bomb tank. Power bomb management during cleanup is actually really tight. We do not have a lot of power bombs, and we need to use a lot of them. So with the route we use, we planned out every single power bomb usage to the T, and we actually don't really have enough with the current route. So we kind of pray for a power bomb drop later on. And like not getting it isn't a disaster, but it wastes a couple of seconds because we have to do like a backup thing in criteria. So if we see any runner like accidentally using a power bomb somewhere, that's actually a really big deal, and let's hope that doesn't happen. Eagle getting the refill. He should be at 200 missiles and 20 super missiles right now, so yeah. Just making sure he didn't miss anything. I should have noticed anyway. I'm doing that room kind of slowly, but it's a complicated room with a lot of shots in different directions to activate the work pod and destroy all the pods. So Eagle's doing the glass tube shine spark now. This trick is one time. You can only attempt this one time in the entire game. If you screw this up, it is not doable anymore. And Eagle does the same way and gets it fine. Yeah. So we used the glass tube to get a shine spark, and as it blows up, and after the glass tube is destroyed, it like doesn't regenerate or anything, and it's permanently broken. And there's no way to get a speed boost in that room anymore. But we need to get it as we break it because we want to jump down. So this is a one-time thing. It's really annoying to miss this because you have to, like, you can't just do it again. You have to like go take a different route to fix it. Both runners getting it fine though. Nice. And I didn't really explain, but coming up for John. Oh no, he gets hit. I have to use the speed boost. Minor inconvenience. The speed boost isn't that important. But in the room John is in, we kinda hope to get a power bomb drop. It's about a 25% chance for the entire room from all the enemies collectively, and they didn't get it either. Yeah. So they have to do like a weird shine spark thing that Eagle's gonna do first right now. Where if we have a power bomb, we can just destroy the blocks on the floor here and get a speed boost normally. But now we have to do this chain thing. And Eagle should be fine, yeah. This long chain to get this single power bomb tank up here, and also open up the way down to Tyrion. John taking a slightly safer strat to do this. Does he recharge here as well? No, he doesn't. These men are braver than I am. Yeah, no Ming Li from either player today. It's good. Taking a short visit down into Tyrion to pick up like 2 items and then going back out. These items do not exist until after Mother Brain dies, I want to say. I think like there is a way technically to get power rooms early that lets you get into Chisoria early, and it's like the game doesn't really handle that very well. Like weird stuff starts happening. If you can go fight Charlie with your power suit and stuff, it's very weird. And I think the trigger for this area being broken, and as such the expansions existing here, is that Mother Brain has to die. Eagle planning a power bomb here to destroy those blocks. John planted that earlier because he kind of messed up the space boost through that area, and it's better to plan it early if you mess it up. So they're still on the same, like John doesn't have less power bombs or anything, just planted one earlier. Ooh, John going for landing stats. I'm impressed. He's doing it poorly though. But at least he's trying. I'm from Malmö, right? Yes, I am. It's gonna be hard for John to catch up here unless Eagle actually makes like a real mistake. It's possible though, like Eagle could miss Norther Space Boost if he tries, he could miss Space Jump E-Tank if he tries for that. Gonna be tough though. If Eagle just does safe strats and doesn't screw anything up, it's really hard for John to catch up right now. But I think John is still going to end up at a really respectable time. I don't think anyone was expecting John to win this race coming in. Like, I think a lot of people expected it to be a possibility, but it did not actually happen. Eagle is just way better than everyone else at this game right now. John's keeping up pretty well. To be honest, it's a lot closer than it could have been. Eagle doing... Oh, Eagle is doing Northern Space Boost. Yeah, he should have it by now. Hard part of that trick is the start, where you have to like jump through a door and stuff. Once you're actually up by the ceiling, it's not that hard. Eagle usually talks about how he doesn't like the risk-reward on that trick, and you should only do it if you can get it 100% of the time. It only saves like a second or two, and if you screw it up, you lose so much time. Eagle seems really confident in his ability to do it, so it's fine. John does it as well. It seems good. Runners high-fiving in the big Northern Space Boost room. Eagle electing not to do the Space Boost on the way back because it saves significantly less time. It only saves like half a second going back. Because on the way there, you kind of have to try and store the spark really early and run through like an entire room with the spark charged and not running speed booster speed. Both runners have like a bunch of power bombs. They must have gotten like 2 drops or something. John going for the space boost. It's technically faster to do this. It's a bit risky for like almost no gain though. People doing tutorial spark. This is something we sort of as runners forgot about and then noticed in the like if you let the game run at the title screen and it goes into attract mode and just shows a bunch of clips. It shows that spark. And like a couple of years ago we were like, oh, those are speed blocks. We can ball spark through that room. Cool. Oh, learning things every day. John might be on PB pace. I wouldn't be surprised. John is like keeping up really well with Eagle. And like I said, Eagle is like by far the best runner in this game. Another power bomb draw for John. Wow. I have to see if John knows how to use all these extra power bombs. I'm not even sure I know how to use that many extra power bombs. Yeah, an extra 3, yeah, we can use an extra 3. That's not too hard. Yeah, since like power bomb drops are really rare, so I think most runners wouldn't actually know where to use any extras you have. Like you know how to use if you have 1 extra or 2 extra, but 3 extra is kind of a lot actually. They don't save a lot of time. They save like half a second each where you decide to use them. We're now going back practically to the Charlie fight for a single power bomb tank. This power bomb tank is really, really annoying from a routing perspective. Like you can't really make a clean route with this tank existing, so we just have to go back here. It takes like 5 minutes or something. It's really slow. And there's nothing else here that we could like save for later to save time, so we just go back here for forever to grab 1 tank. It's terrible. It's nice to see here, like at this point where Eagle is, you should have no power bombs left. Or well, 2 now after you pick up the tank, but before you pick up the tank you should have no power bombs left. So you can easily tell how many extras you have and by now start planning on where to use those extras. Because you're not gonna get any more. Nothing in Josiodia drops any power bombs. Those are the power bombs you're gonna have. We'll see, John has like 4 extra, holy crap. Wow, how did you get 4 power bomb drops? He actually could have used a power bomb in that room to save like a tiny amount of time. The only thing left that Eagle could really fail at, unless he uses too many power bombs somewhere, which he really shouldn't, is if he even tries to do Space Jump E-Tank, which is the last E-Tank in the game. We can get through space jumping over there or shine sparkling over there. Space jumping is really, really difficult, but saves like 5 seconds. Failing the space jump, it's like 10 seconds or something, because you have to reset the room and try again. It has to be more, like it has to be like 10-15 seconds per failed attempt. And like I saw Eagle go for Shine Spark at Glass Tube, which is, I don't know, that's more scary in a way, because if you fail Glass Tube, you're screwed. If you fail Space Jump E-Tank, you can just reset the room and be fine-ish. But still, I think Eagle usually does Space Boost for Glass Tube as well, and is playing it safe for the race, for the sake of the race, I would assume. Eagle know where to use extra power bombs. So John should use a power bomb in this room, hopefully. No, John is terrible. No, sorry, no, it's hard. Like you're not used to having the amount of power bombs John has. It's reasonable to not know every location where it's used. That room would have been one though, the room with like the multiple bomb things. It's like half a second if you place a power bomb as soon as you enter the room, and then do the room normally afterwards. There's also faster to use the power bomb in the room Eagle was in by like 20 frames. He didn't do it either. Guys, learn how to use your power bomb. Could end up saving a second, maybe sometime. Using a power bomb where Eagle is expected through the normal routes. Oh, John does know about that room. Okay, that's good. Still has fucking 3 extra power bombs. He can use one after killing Mecha to open the door faster. He can use one. I don't think he can use them to save time anymore. He can do weird glitches at the end. He places the power bomb as he goes into the ship. He can like screw with the color palette and maybe the audio. See if Eagle does space jump. No, Eagle plays it safe, which is gonna make it really, really difficult for John to catch up. So if John does Space Jump E-Tank and gets it first try, and Eagle then somehow fails the escape Shine Spark, I'm not even sure that's enough time for John to catch up even then. The Space Jump E-Tank is going to be 5 seconds, failing escape Shine Spark is like 20 seconds, and that's not enough for John to get back into it, sadly. Oh, John, this is really difficult. Oh, that's close. Oh, he gets it. Nice. That's well done, John. That should be a 5-second game on an Eagle. Oh, whoops. And then he doesn't get the Shine Spark back, so he probably just didn't actually gain any time. Yeah, he's still like 40 seconds behind. 37 seconds. Eagle using a power bomb for 2 do door bomb. Both players confirmed to have 100%. Mecha's health triples when you collect all items, and his damage increases. I want to say triples as well, but it for sure increases. Place that power on so late. I mean, John could do all really risky shine breaks, save like a couple, like a second or two, maybe, but he probably should. No, it's not even a second. It's like half a second, maybe. If you push the robot, if you push the ball to the right, but you have to do like frame perfect shine break stuff. Is Eagle getting a 111? Wow. Eagle is getting a 111 this race. That is ridiculous. 111.26. Not a lot of people have sub 112 at all. Eagle's just too good. Whoa, whoa, the random morph by John. John's gonna get like a low 112, which is very respectable as well. Yeah, very low 112. Is that a PB for John? I don't know what John's time is. Check out leaderboards real quick. Because John runs an emulator, so I don't know. Oh, excuse me. So if you look at leaderboard, Eagle is the only one below 112 real time, but the 3 next fastest runners after Eagle for in-game time actually use emulator, so it's hard to tell what their time will be real time. Hello, John.
Oh, thanks.
That seemed to be a really good run for you.
It almost was. I'm actually really happy with that. That was a 13-second PB.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was actually a PB. Like, staying that close to Eagle is quite a feat.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised it was that close. I just wanted to keep it within a minute, so I'm extraordinarily happy with that result.
Yeah, it should be. I think that time would have beaten like everyone in the tournament except for Eagle.
I was not expecting that good of a time after Torian, which I don't really have words for that Torian, but.
So, was there ever even any like real mistakes you did in the run?
Or anything? The big ones were missing the Norfair shine break this time.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. I got pretty horrific bug RNG. Haven't nearby yet, but that's
right.
Really
Eagle got pretty bad RNG as well.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah, it was pretty bad for both of y'all.
And then Torian was just abominable. Just everything went wrong.
I think Torian was the only segment where I saved time. But it's
Really?
it's a horrific segment in my PB, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I was like, that did not seem like a good Tyrion.
It wasn't. I got like
No.
one super drop or something like that.
Yeah, it was pretty terrible.
I
But
got
I still
decent
saved time.
drops. I got good drops. I just kind of butchered everything.
How do you get a sub 51 in a race, Eagle? You're not. Not fair.
I'm surprised John was that close behind. If I had had an off day, and it happens, like I've gotten a 113 in races before, I would have lost for sure. But I just had a very good run overall.
I kept that a lot closer than I was expecting to.
John had like an amazing run. It's not enough.
Yeah, that run was really, really shaky until Supas.
51-22.
Where, like I was 27 behind leaving Torian and came out 13 ahead.
So 51-22 sadly doesn't bop anyone on the leaderboards.
Yeah,
Still a solid fourth place though.
No, it just Paulsmore and his in-game time.
Me and Paulsmore still ahead.
Paulsmore used the in-game timer, so I just went to
Oh, that's not fair, yeah. I don't remember if I was using in-game timer. No, I wasn't.
I wonder if Scotty's going to bop someone soon. I think he got a 111.
He should. He's been improving like an alarming rate.
Scotty has a 5110, it says.
5110, jeez.
I believe that.
He could beat Mobius. They had to play in losers next.
I know. I predicted Mobius to beat Scotty, but I'm really not sure that that's going to happen.
I mean, I predicted everyone to beat Scotty because I didn't know.
Yeah, I know. I knew Scotty, so I had an advantage. I knew he was going to go like further than the first round. But
I'm very interested in seeing Scotty's run now. See how far he can go.
Yeah.
Alright, well, good game, John.
Yeah, good
Thanks to you guys for an awesome race. That was really a pleasure to watch. Well played from both of you.
I'm really looking forward to watching the VOD of that.
I was kind of watching while we were running, so it was nice.
I was really nervous towards the end because I knew that like this was actually a good run and I had no idea how well you were playing.
Oh yeah, you were watching the run, Nico. Did you like play safe specifically because you knew you were ahead?
The only thing I played safe was Space Jump E-Tank.
Right.
If I'm in a race, I usually always do Glass Tube Shine Spark because I'm not actually that good at that trick. I often jump too early, so I just usually go for the Shine Spark.
Yeah, I did the Shine Spark as well for the same reason.
Gotta play safe sometimes.
I'd probably do the Space Boost if I knew I was behind at that spot, but only then. I think I can do it consistently. It's just scary, but yeah.
Yeah.
Good race though. I don't know if we have anything else on the speed gaming schedule now. Doesn't seem like it.
We're waiting for a couple of matches in losers at this point, I think, which is Mobius Man and Scotty and JLP and Exodo. Whenever they get around to playing the matches.
Those are both pretty good matches.
We progressed pretty quickly through the bracket. I mean, we're less than we were in the 80% bracket, but it's still been. It feels like the tournament has went pretty quickly for the most part.
Yeah, it's been really smooth.
Now I gotta wait for a bit though, because I think we'll probably save winners finals for a while. That seems reasonable, right?
Sure, yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Alright, well, good luck, John, in losers bracket.
Well, thank you, Eagle. Good luck against Baltimore.
Thanks.
So thank you guys for watching. This was a good race. I'm happy you got to see this on stream. Well, and as Faisal is saying, there will be our return country in about 40 minutes. Until then, you need to find something else to do, but we'll happily have you back then by then as well. So I'll see you guys around.